What's up guys, it's Eric with Verus Engineering. This is our shop Supra and it's running our high downforce front splitter with diffuser tunnels. We're going to be talking a lot more about front splitters today and what they do for your vehicle on and off the track. Real quick before we talk about splitters, we need to change the machine. We are running Fat House's Transpans. We did a really cool video about the development here. What I put on the table in front of you is our to-be-released high downforce 992 splitter kit. We were contacted by a customer, Tyler Wolf. He asked for a front splitter that rivaled our GT3 RS offering, so we basically completely redesigned our entire front splitter kit specifically for our large Porsche diffuser tunnels. And now this kit makes as much downforce as a 991 GT3 RS. So his 992 GT3 is going to produce quite a bit of downforce, and he's going to try and set some pretty decent fast lap times. So what front splitters do is produce front end downforce, and they do so by creating a large pressure differential. You're going to get high pressure, slow moving, stagnant air on the top side, and you're going to get fast moving, low pressure air on the bottom side, and that creates a very large pressure differential. High pressure pushing down, low pressure sucking it to the ground. It's a win-win. They're very efficient at producing downforce, unlike say a wing, which is somewhere around like the 6 to 10 to 1 range. Front splitters are substantially higher because they're just efficient at producing that downforce. So with CFD, which is what we run on basically every vehicle that we produce products for, is we look for aero balance. So we're making sure that our front splitters produce a good aero balance for whatever rear aero in the Ventus kits that we have. Sometimes that's the UCW rear wing, sometimes that's the high efficiency rear wing, sometimes that's the V1X. So with this specific vehicle, it's the V1X. With something say like the M2 and the Supra, we're looking at more the UCW initially, and then we've upgraded to the V1X, and we may come out with more front splitters in the future to balance out that higher producing rear wing. So like with the M2, we had a large issue with the oil cooler, which is basically right here on the M2, and it's dumping high pressure air into the underbody, and it was completely destroying airflow. So we had to develop a unique system that actually ducted the air rearward. Now Jackie Ding is actually running with the block off plate, and his oil temps aren't exceeding it, but I also don't know how many laps he's running out there. If it's 5, the oil temps probably aren't getting that hot, so he can block it off. But we do offer multiple different styles there so that you can run full factory oil cooling, ducted oil cooling, and then blocked off oil cooling. So that's something else that we look for. Another thing that we look at is when we're running diffuser tunnels or splitter tunnels is if the flow is becoming distressed or if it's basically not attached as well as we can. So on the Supra diffuser tunnels, you see these bulbs or the dimples, and that was actually to energize the airflow because we had to make a splitter diffuser very specifically shaped for the Supra body to keep it below the radiators, aux radiators, and continue to improve performance, because if it's detaching, we're actually hurting performance in that specific area. We've now noticed that other companies are starting to do that, and the interesting thing is that you honestly don't want it if you don't have to have it. So found that interesting. But we actually are doing our homework. We know why we're doing what we're doing, and we know that the products are actually producing good downforce. Something else that we look at, which we've noticed on other vehicles, is the diffuser tunnel flow in relation to the leading edge. So sometimes, again, that flow becomes distressed, not ideal. We're hurting performance on the diffuser tunnel and that leading edge. So we look at that correlation, we ensure that everything's functioning the way it should, and then we actually produce the part. So like I said, this is our higher downforce 992 kit. So if we were to fill in this diffuser area, the splitter still functions, and it still functions well. However, this diffuser tunnel actually improves the splitter performance. So when we do a splitter diffuser, you can be assured that we're improving performance of the splitter, and it's working with the rest of the vehicle as far as fender and wheel correlation, which is all happening right here, and we're actually ensuring that it does function properly. We do very race-oriented splitter-only stuff, although what our bread and butter is, as far as Verus engineering offerings, are splitters that are designed to take road and track abuse. And what I mean by that is that this polyweave material is durable, it's bulletproof, literally, and they can handle a lot of abrasion, where a carbon splitter is more, I would say, a race-oriented product. So it's gonna be a little bit lighter. It's super stiff, but if you hit it on the ground, you're gonna hurt it and potentially damage like a $7,000 to $10,000 product, where this is a little bit more cost effective. It's gonna take that beating a little bit better, and it's gonna last a little bit longer as a result. Okay, so we are currently under our GR86, which is sporting a different style front splitter. It's also got a Subaru BRZ bumper on it because we're doing some development for an air dam because you guys have asked us for it. We also did brake ducting development off of that bumper as well, which is why you see a black bumper on an otherwise white car. So we offer this different splitter material primarily for cost. So this is a durable, fairly lightweight plastic that allows us to produce front splitters more cost effectively. So we do this for those customers that we feel don't want that polyweave, which is like a carbon matrix, carbon plastic marriage type of material, which is definitely more expensive. The cost of material is 6x times the sheet material of this. So we do this specifically for the makes and models that we feel the customers want a little bit less expensive splitter. So that's why we do that. Another question we get asked quite often is what's the difference between the one piece and the two piece? This is a one piece splitter, but the two piece is basically the same thing, just cut down the center. And we do that again to reduce cost even further. So when you ship something that's this large, it costs a lot to ship. If you ship something that's half the size, but a little bit thicker, it's a lot less expensive to ship, and thus we pass those savings on to you. So that's the reason why we do two piece versus one piece. You are, at the end of the day, gonna be a little bit more strong as a single piece, but the two piece is a great option, and I feel like we don't really have anyone that complains, oh, I wish I got a one piece versus two piece. It's just, there's a difference in cost. It's a personal preference if you want two piece or one piece, but we think both are great options. With all that being said, even though this one is a less expensive plastic, it still produces plenty of front end downforce. It still performs well. It's still structurally sound and can handle the downforce. So at the end of the day, pick what you want. Even though this splitter is made out of a lesser expensive material, we still do the same CFD homework that we do on our Porsche, Supra, BMW stuff. It's still structurally sound. It's still aerodynamically sound as far as function, and it basically helps you improve your lap times at the track. Splitters are great aerodynamic pieces to add to your car. However, at Verus Engineering, we would highly recommend not doing just a front splitter unless your car is severely understeering at high speeds. If it isn't, then we would recommend doing something more like a dive plane and rear diffuser, because that's going to aerodynamically balance out the vehicle. To produce more downforce, total vehicle downforce, we would then add the front splitter and rear wing, which again balance themselves out and create a safe and predictable vehicle at all rates of speed. That is important because if you add just a front splitter and the car is fairly neutral as is, you're going to start under or oversteering, which means the tail end is going to get really happy. It's going to be kind of scary to drive, and unless you're pretty confident in who you are as a driver and the vehicle and how it performs, the rear may get out of hand around corners and you may go off track. Thanks for tuning in on our front splitter video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see a front splitter on your vehicle, be sure to comment below. Let us know what that is. I know which one we're releasing next, but do you? I've got some stuff I've got to do. Got a GR Corolla pitch stop race to program. Until next time, I'm out.